This is a routine you can do if you're having any kind of lower back pain. So we're going to start standing. We're going to come into a wide leg stance here. It kind of just depends on how far you want your legs out. Always feel free to bend the knees a little bit. Bring the hands to our low back here, kind of pressing those shoulder blades in towards each other and elbows. Taking a nice inhale, pressing the hips forward, opening up the chest, opening up the throat here, looking up. As we exhale, hinging at the hips, releasing that upper body down, letting gravity have the spine here, and hanging nice and heavy. Grabbing opposite elbows here, maybe finding a little extra room to open up the legs a bit more. Surrendering to gravity here, rocking side to side. So just hanging out here for a few deep breaths, feeling a nice release in the low back, a nice stretch along the back of the legs. Release the bind here, bring the palms of the hands to the ground or blocks, taking an inhale to look out in front of you. Heart is extending forward, belly is slightly pulled towards the spine, and exhale to fall back in towards the body. Sliding that left hand to your center here, taking an inhale, we're going to open up that right arm, working to stack the shoulders and spin the chest open a bit here. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to. Taking an inhale, maybe coming up to spider fingers, finding a little extra length here, reaching out. Exhaling to fold back in towards center. Again, shaking those hips out, maybe bouncing the knees a little. On our next inhale, we'll slide that right hand at our center, taking that left arm all the way up, working to stack the shoulders here, spinning the chest open, breathing into the low back. Taking an inhale, maybe coming up to spider fingers, finding a little extra space here. Exhale to fold back in towards your center. Shaking things out. And we'll just kind of heel toe the feet all the way in until we find ourselves into a forward bend. Uttanasana, folding forward here, maybe bending the knees a little bit to release. Bring our hands onto our shins, looking out in front of us with an inhale, reaching forward with the crown of the head. Exhale to bend the knees, folding back in, and releasing nice and heavy here. We're going to take the palms of our hands forward and step our feet back so that we come into a downward facing dog. So spreading the palms of the hands nice and wide here, really lifting up through the tailbone, pressing the thigh bones back. Chest is reaching for the thighs, crown of the head is reaching forward, and shoulders are moving down the back. Feel free to play a little bit here, bending and straightening the legs. Maybe dropping one elbow and then the other. Maybe even bending the elbows to really push that weight back. Working to let those heels move towards the ground. It's okay if they're not there yet. Feel free to bend the knees, or maybe even taking the feet out a little bit wider if you need to. Stay here for 5 deep breaths, just really getting a nice stretch along the spine. Feel free to play as much as you need to here. Maybe even closing the eyes. Feeling the sensations of the stretch here. Taking one more full breath in. Exhaling. On your next inhale, we'll shift the weight forward into the hands to drop the knees down. Might need to adjust the hands a little bit, coming back onto all fours here. Knees are underneath the hips, wrists are underneath the shoulders. Sway those hips a little side to side here. We're going to take a few rounds of cat-cow position here. So just warming up the spine, taking an inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, move that heart forward and look up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, slightly bend the elbows, let the chin come towards the chest, roll the shoulders towards the ears and pull the belly towards the spine. Coming into cat pose. Another inhale to move forward. Breathing nice and deeply, creating some space along the spine. Exhale to release, rounding everything out. Inhale. Exhale. Another inhale. And exhale. Holding that nice round position here. Maybe shaking the hips a little bit. And then we'll kind of ease ourselves back into a neutral position here. Taking an inhale to rock forward. We're going to exhale to let those hips move all the way towards the heels. Inhale to come onto all fours. Exhale to tuck those toes, lift those hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. And then just taking a little walk to your hands here. Bending the knees, taking a nice roll up slow, one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing that comes up. Let the shoulders kind of roll back here. Take an inhale to sweep your arms all the way up. Maybe taking a slight back bend here, gazes at the thumbs. Exhale to swan dive forward, bending the knees, leading with the heart center, and folding over. Shaking out. Pressing the palms of the hands into the ground, stepping back into that downward facing dog. Taking an inhale to lift those heels, round the back a bit, feel the shoulders move towards the ears. Exhale to settle back into that downward facing dog. Inhale to drop the knees here. And exhale, release back into a child's pose. We'll just release the arms out to our sides, shoulders kind of roll towards the knees. Forehead can just kind of roll side to side here, and then just release. Sending your breath into the low back, middle back, and upper back. And just slowly roll up here. Come into a cross-legged position. So hopefully your back's feeling a little bit better. You can always run through the routine a few times. Always feeling free to add in any extra movement that feels good for the body.